But what is a memory anyway? Nerve cells communicate by sending electrical signals, which trigger the release of chemicals across tiny gaps called synapses. As one cell speaks to another, chemical changes at the synapse make it easier for the signals to pass. If only a few signals are sent, this transformation among a network of cells is temporary, resulting in a short-term memory. But if the signals keep coming, changes at the most active synapses become permanent, forming a long-term memory.
So long-term memory actually involves an anatomical change in the brain. So as I like to say, if you remember anything about this conversation tomorrow, it's because you will have a slightly different head than you had today.
But what maintains a long-term memory? How can you recall something that you may not have thought about for 20 years? Neuroscientists Todd Sachter and Andre Fenton think the answer may lie in a molecule called PKM-zeta that accumulates at synapses as memories form.
PKM-zeta acts as glue, if you will, for fixing the connections amongst the neurons that were active together, so that later in time those neurons are bound together and permanently bound together and can become active again to recall the experience.
To assess the molecule's importance, Fenton set up an experiment that would give the rat a memory. He placed it on a revolving table, where in one area it would receive a mild shock.
There's the rat, and he's approaching the shock zone. He's beginning to move a little bit, but looks like he's going to enter the shock zone. He's gotten shocked and he's just run away. He's approaching it right now.
Soon, the rat always avoided the shock zone.
And he's walking away. So when the rat stays away from a particular area, we can imagine that he has remembered where he was shocked.
Then, Fenton injects the rat's hippocampus with a chemical called ZIP, known to undo the effect of PKM-zeta.
And what we observed, which was quite remarkable, was the rat acted as though it had forgotten completely where the shock zone was. And it explored the arena as if it was in the arena for the first time. Just got shocked.
Yet, the rat could learn once again to avoid the shock zone.
So we hadn't damaged the rat's brain. We hadn't broken its ability to learn anything. What we had simply done was specifically erased the memory for that shock zone.
Without PKM-zeta, the rat cannot maintain a long-term memory. While this is not the only molecule active at synapses, it does appear we may have found a crucial ingredient of memory, one that explains how a 3-pound lump of flesh can store, indefinitely, vivid recollections of everything from birthdays to weddings to episodes of Nova Science Now.